Now we're on to the rabbit. Out of the 144 compatibility relationships. So, starting with rabbit male and rat female. The rat is sociable, active, and crafty. The rabbit has a mild disposition and is not inclined to the strenuous activity and involvement favored by his gregarious and entertaining wife. But both love home life and are realistic about their goals because she can be devoted and outgoing enough to brighten up his moods. This will be a responsible and good match. Okay, so rabbit and rat do get along, I guess. Like rabbit male with rat female. Okay, rabbit male and ox female. The rabbit is gentle, sagacious, and receptive to ideas and the feelings of others. The ox wife may be lacking the emotion and sensitivity to understand his refined personality. On the other hand, he can be acquisitive, indulgent, and selfish. She can be pragmatic, but virtuous and well-disciplined. Each could supply the other with missing attributes if they care enough to make their union work. The rabbit male and the tiger female. The imaginative and docile rabbit is inclined towards mental and creative endeavors. The lady tiger is dramatic, sensuous, and electric. She may be too strong and colorful for the quiet and impeccable rat. For her part, she finds him impersonal and lacking in emotion. He could help solve her problems, but she may be too inattentive to listen. She could build up his confidence and assertiveness, but he is not too keen on her method of teaching. These two tend to not mix well together, as in the final analysis, what one likes, the other doesn't. So let's go back to the rabbit male and ox female for a second, because I kind of want to offer my own take afterwards on these things. So before, with the rabbit male and ox female, it sounded like the rabbit, the personality of the rabbit, is very receptive to ideas and feelings of others. So even though the rabbit is not necessarily too emotional, they can tap into the emotions in some way, and therefore it can inspire more of the deep thoughts and being able to kind of go down the rabbit hole, right? Just like the term itself, going down the rabbit hole. And then the ox personality seems to be more, not so much emotion, not really necessarily sensitive. They're grounded, they're earth, right? So they don't really feel those emotions as strongly. So they're more grounded and more simple. But they're more disciplined, right? So they're going to be really solid in foundation and reliability, but it could be difficult to connect on a more depth of a level. But at the same sense, it did say, because of those opposite things, it could work hand in hand, because it says at the end of it, each could supply the other with missing attributes that they miss. I mean, one could supply the missing attribute to the other if they care enough to make their union work. So it takes effort, right? And then with the rabbit male and the tiger female, it sounds like the rabbit is more mentally inclined. He wants to have stimulating conversations. He can have fun, but then at the same sense, he can go and sit down and have a stimulating intellectual conversation and about theories and different, different possibilities and just all that kind of stuff, conspiracy stuff, whatever you want, just really tapping into the mind. But then the tiger female might be more wanting to be out and like doing more flashy things. I think the tiger female will be definitely more extroverted compared to the rabbit's personality. So that's where it could clash. And then the types of things that they might be more inspired by or drawn to are just different. So now let's move on to rabbit male and rabbit female. This duo will cohabit peacefully. Both are calm and intelligent enough to do whatever is practical and necessary to make their relationship work. However, they can gratify each other only to a certain point, as each does what is essential and not much more. This is because the rabbit is basically selfish and self-serving. Matrimony will have to be a well thought out affair with equal sharing of responsibilities. There will be trouble if one thinks he is bearing a little more of the weight than the other. Both are gifted and intuitive, but may neglect to encourage each other. Okay, so yeah, that can kind of make sense in a way. And it's not because, like, the rabbit type of personality is more detached, right? And that's kind of how I see it. So when you have a rabbit male and a rabbit female, you have two people that can easily detach. But just because they have the ability to detach and be more intellectual types, I guess, is over time, maybe they kind of don't recognize that they're doing that. And then over time, it falls apart. The connection could just fall apart and fade away. And then the resentments could sit in and stuff like that. The distance could grow easily or something. That's kind of what I got from that. The rabbit male and dragon female. So she is independent, vivacious, and cheerful. He is capable, but introverted and calculating. She could lift his spirits and make him more ambitious in his objectives. He could teach her a thing or two about diplomacy and fine manners. He doesn't mind her assuming the dominant role because he knows she will seek his excellent advice in the end. He is competent and kind, and she has a backbone strong enough for both of them. This is a realistic and positive marriage combination. Okay, so that sounds like, even though they're complete opposites in personality, since the rabbit doesn't naturally have this need for dominance like other signs might need to have, like, control, the rabbit is more willing to take, like, the side, take the background, or be in the behind the scenes. That's what I was trying to think of. They're okay with being behind the scenes, and because they're confident in their own intelligence, and they're confident in their own intuitive abilities to offer good advice and be helpful. So therefore, they already have that knowledge that even if they're not the front face, they're still a very important piece to the combination, I guess. So that's why there's no threat there, or no. Okay. So rabbit male and snake female. These two are compatible to a good degree if they can enhance each other's stronger points. He has great potential, vision, and tact, and she is determined to succeed and approves of his materialistic aims. But though both will have the same refined tastes and inherent love for ease and beauty, the snake could be too ardent and demanding for the rabbit's superficial style of involvement. On the dark side, both signs are philosophical and meditative, and the lines of communication could be severed should they decide to be negative. So I guess it's a fine line when it comes to the rabbit male and snake female, because they have a lot of similarities in ways to where they're both mental. They're both, they both have the strategic type of mindset, I guess. It sounds bad, but it's just, they're more methodical. They're more, they reflect, and they really kind of speculate things, and, actions, and whatnot. What word am I looking for? The consequences that could come from, like, every action or something like that. Cause and effect. Oh my God, I don't know why I don't know why sometimes I have a hard time talking, and other times I'm just, okay, I'm going to let that inner rooster die down here. Okay. But yeah, the thing is that because they have the capacity to be very introverted towards one another, it can turn very quiet. And it's the same thing that could happen between the rabbit male and rabbit female, where they just grow apart and, it's just the connection gets lost. Rabbit male and sheep female. Or I'm sorry, now I'm on the horse female. Rabbit male and horse female. They may find their relationship difficult, but should consider matters carefully before passing judgment because she is governed by her emotions and intuitions. She is bored by his deliberation and sensitivity. The horse is constantly on the go. Each is too preoccupied or self absorbed to make any great effort to adjust to the other, but this union will never work unless they do. So, in order to make the union work, you have to make adjustments. So, yeah, it's interesting though, because they're both free spirited. They both share that free spirit, independent, and all that kind of stuff, but I guess in different ways, right? So, I don't really take the rabbit being sensitive though, but because it did say sensitivity, but I guess it just depends on the situation because I guess the rabbit still can be sensitive, but yet they're not sensitive to a point where they would have their feelings hurt if they're not center stage or if they're not, you know, it's very interesting. Okay, so now rabbit male and sheep female. Each is receptive to the vibrations of the other partner. The rabbit appreciates the sheep's compassionate and sensitive ways, and she finds him kind, astute, sagacious, enough to make their decisions. Her dependence could make him feel more important and purposeful, and he is a good listener, and she needs sympathy and advice more than action. Both are romantic and affectionate and will enjoy domestic bliss. So that sounds like a pretty good match. That's nice. Sheep female. Okay. Rabbit male and monkey female. Some hostilities may develop here. She is so self assured and proud of her accomplished wit that he may feel humbled by her. For her part, she will hate his anxiety and brooding. Both have the ability to see through others. So both the monkey and the rabbit have the ability to see through people. And consequently, when they look into one another, they may not find anything so fascinating because of that fact, because they can both see through people and feel intuitively. These two realistic individuals will not cooperate unless each has something substantial to gain from the commitment. So that in line goes with, because there's no mystery there, right? Because the rabbit male and the monkey female share the abilities to be able to see through others intuitively, can see through somebody. And so therefore being able to see through each other easily, when you have dissected it so quickly, it loses that, like, you already know everything. I already know the next step that's going to happen. I can already predict, so then it's that drive. And a lot of times the very things that keep us going is the mystery, is the more to learn. I'm not saying that you have to constantly have something interesting. I'm just saying something to learn from the other. And if they learn and dissect each other already and just know that each are stuck in their own ways and nothing, I don't know. That's just got offering my 2 cents about how I took that. So, rabbit male and rooster female. He would prefer to be catered to and served. She is too straightforward, meticulous, and efficient to put up with his whimsical requests. Oh my God. Okay, so guess what? I am a rabbit. I'm a fire rabbit. That's my year. Okay. But just like Western astrology, you have a rising sign. You're not just one animal sign. you're a combination of several different signs. So I'm a fire rabbit in my year. My rising ascendant animal sign is the rooster. So I'm a rabbit, a rooster, and my day sign animal is the metal snake. That's my day animal. That's really deep diving into Chinese astrology even more. But yeah, that's just part of it. And then there's even more stuff that follows. But I have the rabbit, fire rabbit, and then rising is rooster, and my day animal sign is a metal snake. Or it says white snake, but I guess the white is the metal. So, but I remember reading before that my day sign animal in my chart is the white snake. So, okay, I just kind of ranted on again. So, yes, both are knowledgeable, but eccentric. See, so both the rooster and the rabbit, eccentric. What do I always say? Okay, I'm just gonna stop. While he broods in dark silence, she will compose a long list of his faults and make it public. They could make life very uncomfortable for each other. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, okay, rabbit male and dog female. In this beneficial and very agreeable combination, each party will make only reasonable demands on the other. As a result, both will be satisfied and fulfilled. Dog will be loyal and affectionate to the rabbit, even when he feels indifferent and moody. She admires his suave and diplomatic ways, and he can rely on her support and logical assessment of situations. She is more positive of the two. She is the more positive of the two and will encourage him when he is depressed. On the other hand, he is always considerate and sensitive enough to know what is bothering her. Rabbit male and boar female. These two will find each other interesting and sympathetic. He is talented and astute and can negotiate his way out of trouble. Because she admires his poise and refined ways, she will meet him more than halfway. She is dependable, generous, and obedient. He will be touched by her devotion and unselfishness. Neither of them is given to fault finding. Rather, they will be content to count their blessings, especially in such a rewarding union. So that sounds like the best union. There's a rabbit male with a pig boar female. So, yeah, that sounds like the most harmonious match. That's really cool, though, yeah. To have that type of combination where neither of them are given to finding faults. Like, that's not something that they automatically do, personality wise. They're not that type of an individual where they are always automatically looking for someone's faults or flaws. Always trying to look for the good in others. And sensitive, but sensitive in different ways. So, very interesting. And that's what I have for the rabbit.